Hi, this is Jim Lyon, the host of the All That to Say podcast. Before you dive in today, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can catch all of our fearless conversations. You decided to step out of your newspaper job and devote yourself to producing these documentaries. You have to kind of sell the project. You have to find underwriters. This is not a for-profit business per se in the ordinary sense. People have provided resources to create this documentary for Carl, which is top tier. It's beautifully crafted. And part of that investment is to make it accessible to people so that it's more than just watching a show. You can actually learn from it. So tell me about the EPIC program and how that can translate into schoolrooms and classrooms and ordinary life.
I'm happy to talk about EPIC because I think that will be the true legacy of this project. We started, for my Crispus Attucks film, which I guess was two films ago at this point, we did an education program with that, working with IPS and IUPUI and some others, just because we thought, boy, there are some things that kids today, not just inner city kids in Carmel.
IUPUI, for our listeners, is the Indiana University, Purdue at Indianapolis.
Correct, right. Yep. And so we did that, and I thought it was a really neat part of it, but it ended up being kind of like a book-like thing, and we needed to make it a little more dynamic. So for my next film on Eva Kor, also incredibly inspirational person, we ramped up and we really made that not just a one-off, but a key part of the show, and we're doing that even more so, I think, with EPIC, the Erskine Personal Impact Curriculum. This is being produced by Special Olympics Indiana, teamed with me. It really came from Special Olympics Indiana. I approached them early on to see if they might want to give me a modest donation for the film, and it turned out they wanted to do a lot more than that. They ended up really running with it because Carl's such a huge part of their history. And what this is, and it's not just about the treatment of people with intellectual disabilities. It's also about race. Mm-hmm. It's just about acceptance in general.
About humanity.
About humanity. And what the components are is that the regular film is 90 minutes. We've chopped it down to about 56 minutes into sort of three convenient parts, where teachers can play in classrooms. We've also put together specific video lesson plans, maybe 3-minute clips, which include parts of the movie, with these values. And then we produced 3 books, 3 age-appropriate books, one for elementary school, one for middle school, and one for high school. And we started this last sort of a soft launch in the last spring. And by the end of spring, right as we're heading in, we stopped taking orders for a while, but we were up to 70,000 orders for books all around the state. We think that we very much hope, and we're working with the Indiana Association of School Principals, which loves it so much, they're now talking about, let's push this nationally.
I'm saying, Seattle's my hometown. This will play there. It's just so extraordinary.
It does help to have the draw of baseball. That interests people right away, but then you take that and you show what Carl's values are and how those values played out even on the baseball field. And it's just, it's simple stuff, but we've done tests with it now, and students love it. Teachers love it. And to me, the first book for elementary school is just called Wanna Play. It's what Carl said to Johnny Wilson when he was on the playground when Carl was 10 and Johnny was 9. The notion that maybe 10 years from now, a child who isn't even born today might read Wanna Play in an Indiana classroom and look across the room at somebody who doesn't look like him at all, doesn't think like him, doesn't believe have the same faith he does, but would look at that person and think, you know what, I could be friends with that person. That's powerful. And that's what we're trying to do here. And I have to commend so much. I commend Special Olympics Indiana, but also, Carl and Betty. To be the subject of one of my documentaries is a test in the patience. And, and they're not spring chickens, 95 and 94 now. But they've devoted themselves to this project, including the educational element, and we have great hopes that it will change some minds and make the next generation think about things they may not have thought about naturally before.